Alright, let's start with this question now. Here is some information about a loaf of bread. Why does body need a supply of protein? Why do you think we need protein? We need protein for growth and repair, right? We need protein to grow. That's why bodybuilder use it for growth as well as for repair. Now, a total mass of protein, carbohydrate, dietary fibers, salt in the table does not add up to 100 grams. That means that if we add all of these, it is not adding totaling up to 100 gram, but over here it is given 100 gram of bread. What substance make up the remaining mass of the bread? So if you think about, the only part which is missing is water, right? Because we add water also when you are cooking the dough, right? When you are preparing the dough, you add water as well. So the substance that is making up the remaining part of the bread is water, which is not mentioned in this list. Calculate the amount of energy provided by 20 gram of bread. See, now let us do some mathematics. So 100 gram provides 970 kilojoules. So I will write down over here 100 gram provides 970 kilojoules. But I want for 20 grams. I will write down 20 grams over here. Now listen very carefully. For these type of question, we apply unitary method. What do you mean by the term unitary method? First of all, I will find for 1 gram. To make this 101, I have to divide it by 100. 100 divided by 100 is 1. So I will divide this side also by 100, which will result in 970 upon 100, that is 9.7. Done. So 1 gram gives us 9.7 kilojoules, right? How much 20 gram will give us? That would be 20 times 9.7, and the answer for this would be 194 kilojoules. Very good. Let us move on to the next question now. Which component in the bread provides most of this energy? If we look carefully, the most of the energy is provided by carbohydrates. Most of the energy is provided by carbohydrates. Rajiv eats 50 gram of bread. This provides 5% of his recommended daily amount, that is RDA of protein. What is Rajiv's RDA of protein? This is again mathematics. How can we solve it? See, 100 gram of bread, okay, gives us 8 gram of protein. So I will write down again 100 gram gives us 8 gram of protein. So 50 gram will give us 4 gram. Just divide this by 2 and this also by 2. That is 50 gram will give us 4 gram of protein. I will write down. Be focused and please take out a notebook and pen. Don't just sit and watch this video. Now, listen very carefully. Let the total RDA be X. Now we know that 5% of X, listen very carefully, 5% of X equals to 4 gram. Yes or no? 5%, look in the question, 5% of X equals to 4 gram. Now, if we remove this percentage sign, it would be upon 100 of mean times X equals to 4. Now look, I will solve this for you. So it would be 5 times X equals to 4 times 100, because 100 is in division over here. Once it reaches the other end, see, side changes, so sign also changes. Side changes, sign changes. Side changes, sign changes. So it was in division. Once it is over there, it will become in multiplication. So 5 times x equals to 400. Now 5 will reach that side. It is in multiplication over here. That side it will come in. Yes, very good. You got this division. So it would be 400 upon 5. That is 80. So our answer would be 80 grams. Alright, little bit of mathematics. But just go back again. Watch this explanation again and you will get this. Don't worry. Lily investigates the ink on a letter. Describe how paper chromatography separates the dyes in the ink. So see, how does paper chromatography separate the dyes? As we know that different dyes move across the paper at different speed. That's it. Don't write more of it because it is only 1 mark. We know that different dyes, different colors of dyes move across the paper at different speeds. See, you have to learn how to write the answer as well with right scientific terms. So I am here to help you out in that. Which ink was used to write the letter? So match the following. See, dots with dots. So as we can see that A dot is matching with the ink. So I will write down A over here. The reason is spot from ink A match the spots from the ink from the letter. This question is about magnets. On the diagram of the bar magnet, complete two magnetic field lines. As we know that it starts from the north and ends in the south and ends in the south. Just mark the direction again, and here you got it correct. Very good. This was simple question. All of us know that the magnetic field lines come out from the north and enters in the south. Jamila makes an electromagnet. Write down two ways she can make her electromagnet stronger. See, there are two ways to increase the strength of an electromagnet. We can increase the number of turns, yes or no, or we can add two cells, that means we can increase the current. So these are the two ways. The drawing based on fossils shows two woolly mammoth and one more. These animals both lived in same parts of the Europe but at different times. The parts are same. See, this is the parts are same. As we can see over here, we can see hot. Yes or no? This must be interglacial period and this must be glacial period. Now, just the fossil evidence of these two support the idea that Earth has cycles of warm and cold periods. See, you can write down yes as well, you can write down no as well, but you have to give the correct explanation for it in these type of questions. So I have written yes because as we can see that iguanodons lived in lush vegetation which grew in warm condition. Over here is warm, over here is cold. As we can see that the ages are changing. So yes, this can support the idea. Mammoths had thick woolly covering. Mammoths have thick woolly covering, as we can see from here, showing adaptation to cold conditions. All right, so you have to frame answers like this. Explain if fossil evidence supports the idea that each cycle takes a longer period of time. Again, you can write down no and yes in it. I've written yes because as we can see the difference between them. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? It's almost 120 million years between hot and cold conditions. That's why it take a longer period of time. Let's move on to the next question now. Ahmad investigates. The reaction in mixture A is exothermic. How can we tell? See, the temperature has increased. That's how we can tell. So write down temperature increases. What type of reaction is C? See, the temperature is decreasing. So it is endothermic reaction. Mixture P involves substance that is unreactive. So synonym of unreactive, inert, very good. Example gold. You can give example gold. All right. Yuri runs a race. Calculate Yuri's average speed. You know that this triangle, right? All of you. This is distance. This one is speed. This one is time. Now, speed equals to distance upon time. That is 100 divided by 13, and your answer is this one, 7.69. Don't forget the unit, that is meter per second. Yuri does a run. Tick the box. Which point does Yuri stop for rest? So see, this is the point at which Yuri stops. So BC, B and C. Read the statement about the solar system. Suggest why astronomers did not discover the asteroid belt until the early 1800s. See, early 1800s we were not having so great telescopes. So you can write down they were too small to be seen. All right. Circle the name of the scientist who discovered the first asteroid. Piazzi. This is the famous scientist, right? What are asteroids made up of? They were made up of rocks. Asteroids are not classified as planets because they are too small. Okay, not all of them are spherical as well. That's why we don't call them as planet. Modern telescopes have a much larger magnification than the first telescopes. So suggest two ways modern telescope help us to improve the knowledge of asteroid. So we can see asteroid in more detail and more asteroids can be seen now because we have been developed to modern telescopes. Chemical formula. So what is the chemical formula for sulfuric acid? H2SO4. O4. All right, H2SO4. This is the form. Now, an analogy for concentration is how many children are in a room. What is meant by analogy? So, what is analogy? Analogy is a way of comparing two things that may be different but may have something in common. For example, I can say a nucleus is like a brain of a cell. Now, this is an analogy. Nucleus is not a brain, right? But it is like a brain of a cell. How? Just as brain controls our body function, nucleus controls the function of a cell. Yes or no? So this is an analogy. We are comparing two things. They are not same. Nucleus and brain are not same, but they have something in common. What is common? Their function is common. So I can write down idea of a model showing the similarity of like features for comparison. Describe how analogy of children in a room can be used to model a higher concentration solution and a lower concentration. We know that particles are more in higher concentration solution, solute particles are more. So for higher concentration, I can say a lot of children in the room. And for low concentration, I can say a few children in the room, right? Because we have to direct it with an example of children in our room. That's why I've used a lot of children means high concentration. And low concentration means a few children in the room. Let us move on to the next question. Safia investigates how changing the temperature affects the volume of a gas. She measured the diameter of a ball of the balloon at both temperature. She uses water at 10 degrees Celsius and at 50 degrees Celsius. Predict what happens to the diameter of the balloon as temperature, underline temperature, increases. See, as the temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the particle increases. Imagine you are locked in a hot room and the temperature is increasing and fire broke out. Will you escape from the room? Will you collide through the doors? Yes or no? Will you bang the doors? Will you collide more faster with each other? Right? So you are creating more pressure, and the pressure increases. That means the balloon diameter will also increase as the temperature is increasing. So we can explain our answer like this: at higher temperature, particle move faster or have more energy. If they have more energy, they will collide faster, right? If they are colliding with the wall faster, the pressure inside will increase and the diameter as well. That's it, learners. Hope you enjoyed the video. Wait for the next one. Thank you.